Alright guys, just going to make a quick video here showing you some high level mobs here in the Carpathian Fangs. It's the last zone of Transylvania. Anyway, just wanted to show you what you go up against. Here we have two mobs. One, I already know this is a ranged AoE guy, and this is a melee guy, so it's kind of tough. We've got two different guys here, and if we look here, we see that they are immune to hindered and immune to impaired. They're immune to those two effects, so both of them, as you can see here. So like a lot of the deck builds and a lot of the builds are based on hindered and impaired, and what you'll find is that all the higher level mobs, almost all of them are immune to and hindered. Either one, either hindered or impaired, and a lot of them are immune to both, hindered and impaired. So you actually have to come up with a build. In the higher levels, you're going to be using builds, at least in my experience, that are going to concentrate on either weakened or on afflicted or weakened builds. But if we look at these guys, they are they have something nightmare, which means all damage is increased by 50%. Okay, but whenever target is affected by an afflicted effect, it gains a single stack of suppressive attack. Okay, whenever target has 5 stacks of suppressive attack, it gains suppressed, and all damage dealt is decreased by 50%. So what does that mean? Well, we want to put 5 stacks of the afflicted effect on them. You know, we want to put afflicting effects on these guys. And so you'll see, depending on where you're at and what you're fighting against, some are going to be some attacks, you want to use weakened, but with these two guys we want to use afflicted. So I already have some builds in place. Go into my characters screen here, and we'll go into great, servers coming down. Go into gear management, and you see I have an afflicted build here already. I've got a weakened build, then I've got some other stuff in here. I got a drone build, a gunslinger, single attack build. I wish more of these things were unlocked. It's really hard to remember all these builds and all these different things you're trying to do, and right now we only have 5 that we're able to, 5 different builds we're able to make, so it kind of makes it tough. But anyway, so we're loading up. I've already loaded up my afflicted build, and what it consists of is a bunch of passives that are proccing a bunch of things on this afflicting build here. So if we look, I got passive mad skills, okay, and what that is doing is whenever I critically hit, I'm gaining a single stack of the critical rating effect. Okay, and you'll see when I start attacking these guys, I will be getting, I'll be proccing this critical effect, which is upping my critical rating by 30 per stack. Okay, for 8 seconds. And what will happen is, if you keep critically hitting, you pretty much will permanently have this thing stacking up here. You'll see as we start attacking. Okay, this is mitigating factor, and whenever you penetrate, you gain a stack of the penetration effect. So that's the same thing. This one is probably one that I'm going to get rid of here eventually. It's okay, but the mitigating factor in this game really sucks. As far as the physical and magical protection, it's not really that good. We'll get into that later, I guess. Here, this is a big one, okay? This passive ability means that my blaze has a 100% chance to critically hit afflicted targets, okay? So we're going to be putting affliction on these targets right off the bat. And so what that means is every time I use Blaze, which is this ability right down here, it's going to critically hit, all right? And so that's a big thing because one thing, here we are, one thing proccing another thing, right? Blaze, we're going to use a lot. It's pretty quick. You know, it's got, if you see, it's an instant cast and a 1.5 cooldown, so it's pretty fast. But it does consume 3 elemental resources. So my builder in this thing is the Arc Flash, which is a chain ability. And you'll see later on why I'm using this chain ability, Arc Flash. Let's continue with the passives. This one is Sharpshooter. And that is whenever you penetrate or critically hit, you gain a single stack of the hit rating effect, which increases your hit rating 30 per stack, okay, for 8 seconds. What happens is, once you'll see this build, once this thing gets going, my my crits, my penetrations, and my hits are constantly going to be stacked up and proccing this build, okay? And you'll see that once I get started, you'll see over here above my health bar, you're going to see how this stuff stacks up as I start fighting these mobs. Alright, and then here we have chain reaction, and what the chain does is every time you hit with a chain ability, the target becomes afflicted. So that's how we're establishing the affliction on these guys. We're starting out with this builder, which is Arc Flash. Arc Flash is a chain attack. A chain attack applies the affliction on these mobs, right? Next is the Fatal Flourish, and whenever you apply Afflicted, which we are going to apply right off the bat with the Arc Flash, right? So whenever you apply Afflicted, you gain 1 stack of the penetrating rating effect, which increases your penetrating rating by 30 per stack for 8 seconds. And that can stack 10 times. So you see what we're doing here? We are stacking penetration rating, we're stacking our hit rating, we're stacking our crit rating. Alright, then the last thing, I don't know, this is one I just can't really find a really good passive elite ability that I like yet. But this thing pops up a lot and it produces 20% more damage, basically. Alright, that's what our passives are doing. So all of these passives, I'm not going to be able to finish this video. 15 minutes, server's going down. But anyway, all of these passives are working with our actives, and we see what our actives are. Arc Flash, which is that chain ability I was just talking about, that's going to proc all this affliction on these 2 jokers. Then we've got Collaboration. That's also a builder, and why do I have 2 builders that build? Because Collaboration, I need the chain building to start the whole process, right? Collaboration, what I'm using that for, this is not usually in here, I've just popped this one in because I'm going to need the cleansing ability of this active. These guys are going to hit me with all sorts of effects over here. You'll see these light up, and what happens is I need to cleanse them. So we'll be hitting this periodically to cleanse these different afflictions, these different negative effects they'll be putting on me. Alright, and then here is our good old Blaze. This Blaze, once we get going, is going to crit every single time. Crit, 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 because of our passive that we were looking at earlier. Alright, then here is a miscellaneous build. It's a self-heal. This build that I have here that doesn't have any healing. It's not a glass cannon because it does have, I do have a lot of health. You can see here, 61, 13, but I don't really have any self-heals. I rely on this little thing to barely keep me going. And then some health potions with this build when I'm soloing, okay? This is Flashpoint. Now what this does, it also is applying an affliction, okay? An afflicted ability. And it is, as you can read in the description, it's a single target attack. But if the target is already afflicted, it causes other people in the area to become afflicted. So it just adds more to the affliction. Probably don't really need it that much, but it's here in the build. It's another affliction builder. Okay, and then we have Area Drone, which is this is really more for a weakened build. but I'm using it because it does a lot of damage and with a fairly short cooldown time, and it is a you know, an AoE attack, and I just like it in this build right that I'm using right now. Okay, this is Gun Crazy. It's an elite build. It's my elite consumer that I like a lot. It has a really long cooldown time, but I flip back and forth on a couple different elites. This is the one I'm kind of using right now. It's a pistol elite ability. So everything I've got right here is basically coming off of either you know, pistols and elementalism, right? I'm actually using 3 different elementalism abilities and 3 different pistol abilities, and then the 1 miscellaneous ability in the middle here, which is the a little tiny healing deal that I got going on here. All right, so let's see. Probably gonna get murdered, but we're gonna see as I put this affliction on them. You'll see that popping up over here. It's really hard to fight, and then hover over these things that are proccing against them, and you'll see these positive things proccing against me above my health bar. You'll see their positive and negative things proccing against them on top of their health bar. So we'll just see how it goes here. All right, and we're going to start out with our chain attack. All right, so here we go. And you see they are immediately afflicted. Pop the drone, get out of this there. Attacking here, cleanse that. Attacking here, attacking, pop the shield, attacking, drone. Afflictor, out of the way. Alright. Remove that cushion I have on me here. Try and tight a little bit. Hit him with my big finisher. And I don't know. That was kind of a tough one to show you guys. You can see when I'm proccing here, the penetration rating, the hit rating. There was my crit rating. All of this stuff was stacking up. And damn it, going down in 10 minutes. But anyway, you see how this stuff was stacking. You know, when I was hitting them, I'm getting more crit, penetration. All of that stuff is stacking up. If I did that, let's see what I got here. Some crap. And then had I done this with this window open, if you look at my offensive stats here, you would have seen as I stacked this stuff up, you would have seen my crit rating jump up. You would have seen my hit rating jump up. You would have seen my penetration rating jump up. All of these things would have jumped up, and those stacks stay there because I keep hitting them with these various abilities. That wasn't a really good fight. It's hard to actually fight and talk at the same time. But all of these things working together really stack up the crits, hits, and the penetrations. They stack and they stay stacked up. I wasn't using a lot of the blaze abilities that time. I was trying to look at their effects at the same time that I was trying to fight. So it's kind of hard, but you kind of get the idea, I think. You know, when you come up against these mobs, you gotta every one of them is a lot of them have different effects. This guy right here, let's look at him. He's also immune to hindered and impaired, and he actually has that same nightmare ability where he is you know, the best thing to put against him would be afflicted. Afflicted damage is what you want to hit him with, and you know, he's another one that we would use against afflicted. Let's try him right here. We're going to start out with our chain attack, and you'll see the chain attack will start building my builders. All right, build my builders. As soon as I get 3 builders, I hit them with that number 3 ability on my ability bar, right? And I keep hitting them with that, and that keeps building up my stacks on my crit attack. See, hitting it with them. I want to get those up to 5, which, if you look above my health bar now, I've got my crits stacked up to 5, and you see they're staying stacked up. Those crits staying stacked up. And hitting this guy with basically spamming 2 buttons. Now you see he's got me afflicted here. Or not afflicted, but that was actually, he had me impaired when I couldn't move. And hitting him. See, on this guy, I'm just basically spamming 2 things, really. My chain attack and my blaze attack. And just stacking up the crits against this guy. And wash, rinse, and repeat with this particular guy. Right? So that's kind of, and now if you see, look at that, my penetration rating is all stacked up. It's counting down now, but it stays up there. My crit rating, my hit rating, and even this little protection rating, all of that stuff stays stacked up while you're fighting because of all of the synergies going on between the active and passive abilities. This stuff really stacks up. And if you look, let's look real quick at the offensive stacks before they all disappear. See my crit rating 244. Boom, it just dropped down to 214. All that stuff was way stacked up when those things were all proc. So it dropped down now, but they all go up this. They're all up around 350 or so once this stuff starts stacking up. Let me quickly find another guy here. We're going to fight him with this window open so you can see what I'm talking about. Come on. Server's about to go down any minute. Whoops. Did I just lose my head talisman? God damn it. I sure did. That's tough. Alright. Anyway, let me find another mob, man, before the server goes down. Fuck. Oh, man. I really don't want to take on 3 of them. Alright. There's 2 more of these same jokers that are hindered and they're immune to hindered and impaired. Oh. And they have this same thing here where we want to put the affliction. We want to put affliction, right? We want to put the afflicted ability on these guys. Let me see if I can just pull this one guy over here by himself. Probably not. Jesus. Yeah, maybe I can. Yeah, here we go. Okay, now you watch my crit rating stuff on the stats here. Watch it go up. It's going up. All my stuff going up in this build because I'm stacking various passive abilities. And right now I'm just spamming 2 things right now. You can see what it's doing. This guy. Now if I was using something other than this affliction build, I would just be getting murdered right now. Absolutely murdered. This affliction, it is keeping me alive here. You see what I'm stacking up on him? Suppressive attack. Okay? Damn it. And he has just now hindered me. Alright. So I'm messing around here, trying to keep this stuff stacked up on him. And you see how that stuff stays stacked up on me. You know, if you look right now, my crit rating, 364, man. Yeah. 360 on the hit rating, 312 on the penetration rating. See how this stuff is stacked up? And now it's dropping off. As soon as I get it, as soon as this stuff drops off, which it does out of combat because I'm no longer proccing this stuff, no longer fighting, so this is all dropping off. My stats are all dropping off. But, you know, once you start a battle doing these things, your crit rating, your hit rating, penetration rating all stay up there. I mean, maxed out. 350 is really maxed out. Weapon toolkit. Okay, those. So anyway, it's just a quick little video here. The server's getting ready to shut down. I was hoping to do a little bit more, but anyway, that's it, guys. If you want to leave some questions, I know it's kind of confusing trying to explain all this while you're fighting at the same time. I'll try to make some better videos later on, but that's sort of just a quick synopsis of fighting against different mobs and what you really have to con these guys to see, you know, what they're immune to and what you can use against them. Because any other build, if I was using any of these other builds that I have here in my different builds, even the gunslinger build, I would just be getting murdered against these guys. It all comes down to knowing your enemy, knowing your mob, conning them, you know, and then coming up with the build that's going to work. In other words, this weakness build right here wouldn't really be that good. This gunslinger build right here wouldn't really be that good, man. This is my gunslinger build, and it just would not work real well against these jokers, against these guys, right? Even my drone build wouldn't work real well. So anyway, it's just a quick video, man. The server's going down. I'll go ahead and post this, and if you have any questions, leave them, and I will try to answer them as soon as possible. Thanks for watching.